good morning, and welcome to the Brenda Perryman Show right here on TV 33 WHPR, Comcast 90 in Detroit and Oakland County. And I'm really proud of this station. Of course, I am. I'd like to say hello to everybody here at the station and hello to you because we have a dynamic show for you today. My second guest is going to be William David Tarver, a self made entrepreneur who is extremely successful, and he's from Flint, and you'll hear about his journey to where he is now. Also, we have Dana Thompson. Dana is running for the Wayne State Board of Governors, and I think you really like to know what exactly they do and also what her platform is. And I think it'll be very good for you to hear this because she has some things in mind that will really help our children who are going to college, or even adults who go back to college. So first, without any further ado, Dana Thompson. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning. How are you? It's
I'm
good to
great.
see you.
You too. It's been a long time.
It has been.
Oh
It has
gosh, miss you.
been. I know.
And Dana, why don't you give the audience a little background about you
Sure.
and where you came from, where you
Sure.
went to school, and
Sounds good. Yeah, so I'm actually from Michigan. I was born in Detroit and grew up in the Detroit area. And I'm currently a University of Michigan Law School professor. I teach an entrepreneurship clinic at the law school.
And David is going to be here, and you two
That's
know each
right.
other. That's right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, in this entrepreneurship clinic, we represent University of Michigan student startups, and great opportunity to really engage with students and teach them how to think innovatively and creatively about issues. But before I taught at the University of Michigan, I taught at Wayne State Law School, and I started a small business and nonprofit clinic there where I was representing small Detroit organizations and really focusing on providing them with resources they needed to be able to get
You've
up and
always
running.
been dedicated to that. haven't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, small businesses are key to me to a community's economic development and growth and power, really. Small businesses provide great self-employment opportunities and other opportunities for people to provide necessary products and services in their neighborhoods.
And you went to college at
I went to Bryn Mawr College,
right in
which
the
is
east.
on the so it's a small liberal arts school outside of Philadelphia, and I appreciated my experience there, but I knew I wanted to come back to Michigan, so I came back to Michigan and I went to the University of Michigan Law School, and after I graduated, went out to the West Coast to practice law for a number of years at a large law firm, a medium-sized law firm, and I kept coming back to Detroit and seeing all of the development happening in the city, and my family was here, so I was just so inspired by what I saw that I decided to come back to the Detroit in the mid 2000s, and I've been here ever since.
And you married?
Yes, I'm married to my husband, who most of you probably know well, is Bankalay Thompson, and he's the senior editor of the Michigan Chronicle. So we met when I came back to Detroit. So another really important reason to be back.
Yeah, it's kind of important. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. And we have a 5-year-old son. So I've got a wonderful career and wonderful family. I really enjoy what I'm doing. And
Then
now
we come to this. You're a Democratic
Yes.
candidate, of course.
Yes, yes. I was nominated by the Democratic Party in August to be one of the candidates for the Wayne State University Board of Governors.
Wow. Wow. Now, a lot of people don't know what the Board of
Yes.
Governors does.
Right.
A lot of people don't know. Can you tell my
Sure.
audience what the Board of Governors do? And how many
Absolutely.
are, well, first and foremost, how many people are on that Board
Yeah.
of Governors?
There are 8 people on the Board of Governors. 2 people's terms are ending. Debbie Dingle and Eugene Dreiker, their terms are ending. And And so there are two open positions for the board. And the board is very important because what they do is they determine the strategic direction of the university. They approve the budget, and they also hire the president of the university. So they're really responsible for making sure that this university is moving forward and accomplishing its mission and its goal. So it's a very important position because the board sets the tuition, the board sets the tone for how the university engages with its faculty and its students, as well as with the community.
That's what I was going to ask you about the community also. Now, what do you see now with the university that you can improve upon? You feel that you getting on the board of directors, you can improve upon?
A few different things, really. Affordability of the university is really important. Big issue for students across the state, but particularly students at Wayne. Wayne's tuition has increased by $117 million since Rick Snyder has been in office. 10 years ago,
Wow.
25% of the university's funding came from student tuition, and 65% came from the state.
Okay.
Now, 65% of the funding comes from tuition from students and 25% from the state. So we see there is a reduced investment in the university by the state, and it's causing students to bear a higher burden, and they're having to rack up student loan debt, and it's really makes it difficult for students to make that choice of whether they're going to go to school. And it's so important to have access to a higher education because those students who graduate from college are more likely to be employed and be employed in higher paid jobs that give them access to a better life.
That's very, very, very important because I know that when I went to college 150 years ago, when I went to university, we were able to get we couldn't have afforded it back then. My family couldn't, and I was able to get grants and loans, and because I taught in what they considered a low income district after I got out, the loan canceled itself. Every year it was 15%. So I never had to pay anything back, but I got a great education.
Absolutely.
And that is so important. Now, everybody doesn't want to go to maybe the university. They might want to go to vocational schools or something like that. But the university offers a lot of programs.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, so Wayne State University has 13 colleges and a number of different programs for students who are interested in things as varied as engineering, education, social work, law.
Education, we need teachers. You see, they have a shortage of teachers now in Detroit.
Absolutely.
Isn't that amazing? From laying people off, which caused a lot of people to just leave the state.
Right. And, it's really unfortunate that that is the case, but Wayne is such a jewel in our educational system, and particularly in Detroit, because it offers access to high quality faculty and resources right in the midst of Detroit. But it just has to remain affordable and accessible to all of Michigan's working families. So that's one of the things that I really want to focus on.
So 65%?
Yes. And it's not just Wayne. Other public universities around the state, the students are required to pay more in tuition.
Well, what makes Wayne kind of good for students in the area is they could stay home and go.
That's right. So that is really how a lot of students end up going to Wayne. They're commuters. So they tend to live in Detroit, in Wayne County, Oakland, Macomb County, and commute to campus to attend the university. And Wayne is Michigan's only public urban university. So it
That's
has
true.
a very unique feature in that, it's right in the heart of the cultural district. It offers so many opportunities to engage in Detroit's
Well,
revitalization.
not only that, with you being, say, if you're in a business
Mm-hmm.
curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
and look at all the businesses that
Yeah.
have popped up. Well, speaking of pop-ups, that's
Right.
entrepreneurial.
Yes,
But
it
I'm
is.
talking about companies are
Mm-hmm.
moving here
Mm-hmm.
and so forth, and these young people will get a chance to intern
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
forth. And then the medical center. Let's not.
Oh, of course. I mean, Wayne has one of the top medical schools in the country. But when you're speaking about the opportunity to engage with these growing businesses, that is one of the programs that I mentioned earlier that I started was the Small Business and Nonprofit Clinic, which is still in operation.
Yes, it is.
And law students had the opportunity to represent businesses and provide them with legal advice, give them strategic advice on how to make sure they're properly structuring their operations to keep things moving forward. And this was a great opportunity for students to engage with the community, move beyond the campus. And one way in which the Wayne University was able to impact the community and not just kind of be behind closed doors in an ivory tower way, but get out and use resources so that it's impacting our economy. And I feel like that's one of
Right.
the goals of Wayne as well, is to have engage in impactful community work.
Right, right. And my cousin, she graduated from Wayne State's
Mhm.
medical school, and
Okay.
this was some years ago, but she's
Mhm.
also a captain with the Centers for Disease Control.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
She got an excellent education here.
Oh, that's
And she's
fantastic.
been back, they've given her awards and so
Mhm.
forth.
Mhm.
And she backs Wayne State. She
Mm.
believes in Wayne State University.
Mhm.
And I do too. And a
I do
lot of
too.
people do. And people don't realize that just because it's in your hometown, this is you're getting a first class education. I know that Jaleesa Patrick, our intern, she goes there and in fact, I met her there,
Mhm.
and she is getting a great education. And she has a loaded down schedule. You
Absolutely.
can
Absolutely.
so, and it gives children hope, young
That's
people
right.
hope
That's right.
that, okay, while I'm doing this, I could be moving up.
Mhm.
I can get all these experiences and
Mhm.
so forth.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Wayne offers the opportunity for those traditional students who want to go into a 4-year education to go straight from college into the university and take classes and move toward their degree, but also gives the opportunity for students who may not be quite ready to go directly from high school into college to enter first into Wayne County Community College,
Absolutely.
do a dual program where they finish their education at Wayne County Community College and then go into Wayne State.
And I do believe that they have a program for high school students to
Mhm.
maybe take one or two classes at the university their
Right.
last year, because I know a
Right.
lot of the universities, a lot
Mhm.
of the high school students, in fact, when I taught high school,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
got an opportunity to take a class or so at Wayne or University of Detroit or
Mhm.
Wayne County Community College,
Right.
what gives them a little whiff of college.
Absolutely, and that's so important for students whose parents maybe didn't attend college to be exposed to the types of issues that they need to deal with and to understand how to prepare themselves for this different level of education.
So you've talked about affordability.
Mm-hmm.
And who sets that? Who sets the
So the Board of Governors determines what the tuition is going to be and determines the overall budget for the university.
So how would you be able to work with that?
Yeah, so I mean, it would be a multi-strategy approach, really, coming up with innovative tuition incentive programs, exploring different ways to keep tuition lower for certain individuals. For example, in-state students, raising their tuition if necessary at a rate that's lower than for out of state students. And
Excellent.
also, students who are able to graduate within 6 years or less, giving them discounts on their tuition,
Oh,
and
that would be
exploring
wonderful.
other types of opportunities like that to encourage students
Well,
to make
yeah,
it through
because
school.
sometimes you get so in debt, it discourages you.
Right,
From
right,
what am I going to do? I need to get a job. And sometimes once they get out there and they
right,
get that job in the plant or they get that job somewhere, just a job,
right, right.
they lose sight of that career they wanted.
That's right. And that's a position that we definitely don't want students to be in, where they've started to take classes but then they're not able to complete it because they can't afford it or they become discouraged. So then they're saddled with debt, but then they don't have the degree to give them access to that job that could move them to the next level. And that goes to another issue that's important to address, which is the retention and graduation rates of students at Wayne, and really boosting those. Less than 10% of African American students at Wayne graduate within 6 years. So it's
Why is
really,
that, you think?
there are a number of issues, and a big issue is really support, academic advising, getting critical advice at early stages of their career on how to approach this venture and to make sure that they're approaching it successfully and have the support that they need to be able to make it from enrollment to graduation. And the university recognizes that there are issues and has developed a program to help African American students, but we need to make sure that that's monitored on a regular basis so that our African American students are making it through school.
Yeah, you don't want them to fall through the cracks.
Absolutely.
Because that can happen. One day you're in and you encounter these issues,
Right.
and then you just start falling through the cracks.
That's right.
And it's so hard to dig out.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
my goodness. Well, I noticed that. What does diversity and academic excellence mean?
So, recognizing that in order to achieve academic excellence, you don't have to exclude a diverse group of people. Recognizing that we are living in a diverse society, that, in 20 years, people of color are going to be in the majority or a plurality of the
Right.
population, and are going to consist of a plurality of the workforce. So it's critical that we educate all of our people in society, particularly people of color. And it's important to infuse this understanding with our curriculum and teaching our students that you can have a diverse student body with an excellent academic curriculum.
Wow. Yes. Do people from Wayne State go into schools in the community to talk to students, or?
I'm sure there are
Yeah.
programs, but those types of programs definitely need to be enhanced
Yes.
so that more.
Well, bringing students more to the university, bringing high
Absolutely.
school students to the university. Well, I remember, in fact, one of my panelists on my second show, Tiffany McEvans, she's an attorney. I remember taking her class down to university. We participated in a workshop all day long, and it was very, very great for her. And she became a lawyer.
Great.
And she gives back to the community. You have to teach these young people to give back to the community also. Faculty job security.
Absolutely. So, faculty are key to student success, and it's important for faculty to know that they are going to have a job year after year. And for tenure and tenure track faculty members, that is pretty much understood. But It's very important for tenure and tenure track faculty to know that their position is secured as long as they are performing well and effectively reaching their students. But then also for faculty members who may be part-time faculty members who are giving back, contributing well to the students' development and growth, giving them opportunities to have secured contracts for a year or for looking at their particular circumstances so that they have definite contractual terms that work for them and that allow them to focus on teaching and not to be concerned about whether their contract is going to be renewed.
Well, Dana, I think you're an excellent candidate.
Thank you.
I really, really do. And I wish you the best. Is there something you want to tell our audience before we sign off?
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for your attention. And education is key to the success and development and growth of our children, our neighborhoods, our communities. So please focus on the education board races and vote. Even though this is Wayne State University, anybody throughout the state can vote for this position.
I know.
It's
my
statewide.
mother voted for you.
Oh, fantastic. That's
Yes.
great. And as a university professor, I do bring an understanding of academia, student concerns, faculty concerns that the board
And
really
ethnic
needs.
concerns.
And as a African American woman and mother as well. So I just please get out and vote. Vote straight party, Democrat, if possible, but if not, please do vote for me for the
Dana
Wayne board.
Thompson.
Thank
Dana
you.
Thompson. Dana, this is just a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
And we'll be back in just a moment with Mr. William David Tarver.